So every time I would go on Audible, I would see this book being recommended to me. It would be the number one recommendation, number one recommendation. And the previous such book that was recommended to me was a book called Atomic Habits, which I read and I loved that book. And so, 5 second rule, as gimmicky as it sounds, the title of the book, I wanted to read the book and see what it's all about. And it's been 2 days since I finished reading the book, and I must say that it has definitely given me a lot to take in and accept. I accept the book fully. I don't think there are any exceptions to a self-help book. Don't fool yourself into thinking that if you are going to read a poignant self-help book or something that is worth your time, that you're going to get away with it by just adopting one or two things which suit you. If you're one of those people, don't be one of those people. Moving on, what is the 5 second rule? A 5 second rule is a countdown which we do within our brain, which gets us moving. When we have an idea, it could be an idea to do anything. For example, I have an idea right now to shave my beard, but I'm not doing it because I know I should do it. It is not like I lack basic logic and definition in life. But let's say if I want to shave my beard and I'm not doing it, just because I keep deferring it to the next day, to the next day, to the next day, to the next day. And even on days when I say today I will do it, I don't do it. What is, or how do we get over that particular turnstile and get into the territory of someone who is doing things? So it could be something as inane as shaving. It could be as something as inane as important as working out. Let's say you want to work out, but you hate to work out. You hate moving. And you have this thing in your brain where you keep accepting pain, where you keep accepting pleasure, because you think a momentary derivation of pleasure is better than pain which going to the gym will cause you. If you are such a person who is procrastinating things in your life, if you are such a person who is unable to form new habits, if you are such a person who knows that the good things, that there are good things you must do, but you keep waiting for those to happen, if you have a business idea in your mind for about 3 years now, but you never acted upon it because your brain convinced you not to do it, if you are stopping at any angle and listening to the fear of your brain, and if you are lacking in courage, if you are lacking in willpower, if you're lacking in the gumption to do something, then you must try the 5 second rule. The 5 second rule basically states that every single time you have an idea which you want to act upon and you really think it is worthwhile, your brain will fight to stop you from doing it. So all you have is 5 seconds in which to decide what you want to do about it. So it happens something like the countdown begins from 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. After 1, you must be moving. Like you must make a physical move. You must get up. You must walk out of the room. You must go towards your target that, hey, I'm going to do this right now. I'm going to clean my room right now. I'm going to take this stool. It's sitting out of its place. I have to keep it here right now. I've been thinking about doing it for a long time, but I'm not doing it. I have a book on my Kindle which I intend to read, but I'm not reading it. But I must read it right now because this is what is important for me. But what is stopping me from doing it? I think we are victims to our brain as much as it is very providing for us. Somehow we get victimized by our brain. Before we know it, our brain starts to tell us reasons why you must not do something, which is why you'll find that people often find it easier to hate things as opposed to liking things. To cut a long story short, 5 second rule is a very good book because it helped me understand pitfalls of my own behavioral conditioning. And Mel Robbins is ever so objective. Mind you, I didn't read the book. I heard 90% of it on Audible. So if you're going to be getting into this book, you must hear it because she's narrated the book. And if you hear it one-on-one from the author, I think you are more likely to imbibe something out of it as opposed to just reading the book. And also it's just a 6 to 7 hour read. So what do you have to lose? I found the Audible audiobook absolutely stunning. If you are an Audible member, you can probably download it. I'll throw a link in the description. Having said that, Audible, what am I saying? 5 second. So I don't normally make what do you call it? There are very few times in my life I actually make notes of something that I'm reading. But this book was so correct. It really spoke to me, which was shocking. So it really spoke to me, and I wrote about some 20 pages of notes here, man. Like, for example, here I've written, um, this is an important tool. It's a tool to master. It's not a psychologist. It's a simple tool. When there is uncertainty, count backwards from 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. By teaching yourself to take action, you can do remarkable things. It must not be a countdown. It must be a countdown from 5 to 1, not 1 to 5, because some people said once they reach 5, they would just go on to 6 and then they would do nothing. So it can't be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It has to be 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. What else have I written? We are amazing at fooling ourselves to remain where we are. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 will open your prefrontal cortex, which is a part of your brain which decides the actions, I guess. You can use it to change behavior and for new habits. You can do this to find courage in your personal life and get rid of self-doubt. It's good for mind control, to stop negative thoughts. It's good to break anxiety, to get rid of fear. It works because it is simple. Yes, it is so simple, man. I'm sure if you're not going to read the book, you can understand what I'm saying. The next time you want to do something, just count down from 5, 4, 3. By 3, you should be up and running towards your target, towards that thing which you want to do but you're not doing. Immediately when I start my day now for 2 days, I simply count down from 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and by the time I'm down to 1, I'm out of the bed. And there's a paradox of choice. There's a moment you wish to change your mind, but your mind stops you. This is good to overcome that. This is good for everyday courage. Everyday courage is a push which you must take. You have to focus on the solution rather than the problem. We are slaves to our brain. Our brain definitely goes ahead and counts various reasons why we should not do things. So it's important to have that focus, to focus on the solution rather than the problem. It sounds so simple, man. When you push yourself, you change yourself. So you must have the courage to change yourself. So what are you waiting for, guys? I mean, what else does she speak for? She has a chapter called What Are You Waiting For? There is no right time to improve your life, man. There is no right time to improve your life. We waste our time in life deciding and waiting for the right conversation, for the right moment, for the right person to come along. You never regret the shot you take. You only regret the shots you haven't taken. Life is already hard. We must make it less hard by listening to our fear. We do this. We make it harder by listening to our fear. We do this because we are afraid to even try. That's the real reason you don't get off your ass, man. That's the real reason you don't do things. Let's talk about myself. We have a fear of sucking, fear of losing, fear of not being good enough, man. Maybe I'm not good enough at my dream in life. Maybe I'm just not trying to protect my ego, man, because my ego is my own understanding on earth right now and what I present and what I have, and maybe I'm just too scared of letting go of this. Ooh. But what you are doing is wrong. What is you make that? Okay, wait. We're all waiting. It's stupidity. We withhold things to tell. Michelangelo never painted any fresco. He was asked to paint the Sistine Chapel, but he never did it because he was so afraid. He fled for 2 years. He didn't want to do the Sistine Chapel. Steve Jobs was very afraid. Steve Wozniak was fearful of leaving Apple. He just didn't know how to get rid of Apple because he thought it's such a nice cocoon to live in. Sometimes there is a second chance. You're actively working against your dreams. So you need this metacognition technique called 5-second rule to come and save you. You validate your ideas by pursuing them. You're waiting and expecting it to happen. Humans are feeling machines. When you ask yourself what you want to eat subconsciously, what should I eat? You have to wake the power up in you and wake it to shake up your life. The last 3 parts of the book are about how you can change your health, meditation. It's about waking up on time and how you can plan your entire day. So this book also helped me plan my entire day in steps. It's very simple. You have to wake up in the morning, and before you do anything else, you need to basically decide what you will be doing that day. And how you do that is before 7:30. Let's say you get up at 6:30. Before 7:30, you need to decide. You need to take out 30 minutes of time to actually decide what you're going to be doing in that day. And what I now do is I for the past 2 days anyway, I make a note of 2 things that I have to do. For example, yesterday I made a goal, 2 goals I had. I finished one of the goals, which was to finish a book. I finished it in one day. And today I'm going to also try to finish a book. I don't have a second goal today, which is pretty sad. Yesterday's second goal I never even attempted. But there was a reason behind why I didn't attempt it. Again, no excuses, I know. I think 5 Second Rule is the ideal book to get off your high horse and stop making excuses. You need to, if you're really sick and tired of this nonsense, this bullshit, and you're not going to take it anymore or something like it, brackets network, you need to really, really read this book. So there you have it, man. I try to explain 5 Second Rule. I think I came across as I hate this t-shirt, by the way. I tried to explain the 5 Second Rule. I hope I made some sense to some of you. It's up over 10 minutes now, this book review, and I still haven't spoken much about Mel Robbins. Mel Robbins is a fascinating lady. Apparently she works for CNN. I don't like CNN, but she's an amazing woman. Between being a journalist on TV, I guess that's what she does. She's written this book, and it's achieved a lot of success. People all over the world are clamoring to change things about themselves. Every time I'm lazy and my mind is talking me out of doing things, I follow the 5 Second Rule, and it helps. This was a long review for 5 Second Rule by Mel Robbins. After finishing that book, I made it a point to finish another book in one day. India is in lockdown for 21 days because of the shitty virus which is going around. So in these 21 days, I aspire to finish 21 books. Let's see if I do it. Thank you for watching, guys.